It's a new composition of the Carolina Clash as the Charlotte Independents, sitting top at the table, go to Legacy Early College to play their first competitive match against the Greenville Triumph. Welcome, one and all, to this broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster. Alongside me, Ross Davenport. It's the Greenville Triumph and the Charlotte Independents going out to battle for the first time ever, competitively at least, both familiar with each other in some pregame friendlies as we look at the standings, brought to you by Hopkins Eye Center. You see there, Charlotte Independents right at the top, Greenville in the middle of the mix.
I think, if my math is correct, Mark, Greenville could actually jump into first place with a win tonight by a couple of goals and some help elsewhere, which is crazy. They're in 7th right now.
Just shows you how tight the table is this season. If it's anything like last year, we're in for a ride throughout these next few months, but should be an interesting configuration today when we got two teams that have very different stories to tell as far as their score lines are concerned throughout the season. But one guy who's been in a really good spot recently for Greenville is Don Smart.
At 34, Don Smart, the second oldest outfield player in League One. John Harks said he was the best player on the pitch over the 90 minutes last week against Chattanooga. He also said during the week, Jamaican veterans feeling the best he has in a while, both on and off the pitch. And with no Aaron Walker tonight, he'll be relied upon, especially offensively, for Greenville.
Joan Erlong Associates and Sotheby's player to watch in this game. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Koa Santos. I mean, first off, look at this filthy assist he had. This guy has got a boot on him, both in the scoring and the assisting department.
What a lovely ball that was. He's been playing wing back with a back three, but he'll go back to a back four tonight and play right fullback. We'll see how much that allows him to get forward. But yeah, 1 goal, 2 assists already this season. Leads the team with 24 crosses, twice as many as the next guy who'll be a busy man on that right wing tonight for Charlotte.
It should be an interesting one. It's a defensive side in Greenville going up against one of the most high-octane attacks without their centerpiece in Mbuyu. We'll see how both teams fare as they meet up in a bit. We're going to have a break. We'll see you on the other side for kickoff right here on ESPN+.
At Piedmont Natural Gas, being a part of the communities we serve is important to us, because to us, community begins with you. We strive to address the needs of our communities by investing time and resources to help improve the quality of life for our customers. For over 60 years, we have funded programs that support education, the environment, and community impact. Our Energy Assistance Program, Share the Warmth, helps customers pay their energy bills. We're committed to helping our neighbors by powering the vitality of our communities.
Is that a meatball?
What the?
Oh yeah, it's meatball time.
Limoncello, the official pasta and proud sponsor of the Greenville Triumph.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just a touch of a button, because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
Be more than flexible. Be stretch reflexible with Stretch Zone, the proud sponsor of tonight's match. Let's take a look at the Spartanburg Regional Healthcare System lineup, starting off with the Greenville Triumph.
Well, the big news here is no Aaron Walker for John Harks, his captain and center midfielder, missing tonight with a slight hamstring strain. Nothing major, should be back soon. 2 other changes as Labovitz comes in for Fileman and Gavilanes in for Evans.
Miles Fenton making his first pro start. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, for the Charlotte Independents, shaking up the formation a little bit.
Yep, going forward at the back, Noah Costa tonight, he's out injured. Tallboys comes in for him. Barber in for Vint. And Abrahams in goal for the injured Keegan Myers. Mark mentioned earlier, no Trezor Mbuyu, he misses his 2nd straight.
As we see in between the pipes is Noah Abrams. Just announced yesterday that he was coming in on loan from the Miami FC in the USL Championship, and is going to get the immediate looking goal. And I guess if there was a position that you can just plug and play someone, goalkeeper is that.
It is, but you got to make sure that communication's solid at the back. Get that going early. See if that comes into play at all in this one.
And we are underway from Legacy Early College. It is the Charlotte Independents and the Greenville Triumph. Mark Schoenster alongside me, Ross Davenport, for this matchup. We've got the heavy defensive side in the Greenville Triumph versus what has been so far an offensive juggernaut that has helped propel them to the top of the table in the Charlotte Independents.
Something's got to give tonight, Mark. A lot of pressure on this man, Miles Fenton, the rookie out of Furman, making his first pro start in place of Aaron Walker. Obviously, Aaron Walker's been a nice goal-scoring form this year, even with moving a little deeper in that midfield. This man, Don Smart, off to a great start here already tonight.
There's Jake Keegan, still trying to find that first league goal of the season. Sends the cross inside, and that one gets hoofed into the air. Looking for Jacob Labovitz, who scored his first professional goal last time out. You mentioned something's got to give. It's offense versus defense, but both sides missing a crucial piece to the puzzle in their respective strengths. Trezer Mbuyu missing in that offensive attack for Charlotte. Aaron Walker, that holding midfielder who has proven to also be a goal-scoring threat as well.
Yeah, we knew about Mbuyu midweek, but the Walker news came very late. Only when we saw the Greenville lineup did we see that Aaron Walker was missing. We'll see how much Greenville does miss him tonight. Obviously missing Peter Pearson. He would have been the natural replacement for Aaron Walker at defensive midfield, but Pearson on international duty this week.
There's Gavilanes, feeds it inside to Labovitz. And getting that new goalkeeper working early, Noah Abrams able to dive on top of it and punch it away for a corner.
Listen, Greenville loves to attack down these wings. Lovely ball in for Labovitz. Make good contact with it. Wasn't much pace on that ball. Forced Abrams into his first save.
Let's take a look at our first PNC's corner for kids. Just 2 minutes into this one. And Don Smart will wind up and look to tee in a nice ball. That one low driving, scatters around, scuffed about, and Jacob Labovitz had a chance to pack a punch behind it, but only clipped the ball. Let's take a look at those injuries. We're talking about players missing as we get a look at our Wilson and Engelbart injury report. Ayrton Pai is the only one listed coming into the game, but of course Mbuyu also out. And then Walker, Frankie, Smith, some of those familiar names, along with Walker being the new addition.
Yeah, Frankie should be back soon. He's running after sustaining that elbow injury in pre-season. Jamie Smith, his dad, Dean Smith, in town this weekend. I assume he's at the game tonight. He had a few words with the Greenville team earlier this week. Unfortunately, Jamie Smith still out with that ankle injury sustained early in the season.
Yeah, unfortunate timing for Dean Smith, but this is when he's available, given the fact that the Premier League season is over.
Goals flying in Richmond, 2-1 kickers. Still only about 39 minutes in there.
And those are two teams that are typically stingy when it comes to allowing goals. It's Charlotte looking to build something. First little spat of possession in the game.
So Jalen Crisler with goals in back-to-back games. Had a header on Wednesday night against Chattanooga. Now on the score sheet again tonight for the kickers.
The center back.
They were down 1-0. Back to lead this one 2-1. Perhaps we'll have some early fireworks here. An early goal would certainly help open up this game a little bit. I think with Walker out, Greenville will be playing their normal, even more defensively than normal. Couldn't get on the counter, but they came out brightly in that first minute. A couple of good chances.
Some movement pushing forward from Quinn McNeil, trying to put on the moves.
Quinn McNeil should have some fans in the stands tonight. Greenville native, born in Cork, Ireland, but moved to Greenville at a young age. Played for Greenville FC. I know a lot of the Triumph fans used to attend the Greenville FC games and now come into the Triumph games. Let's look at John Harkes.
Last time Greenville played a win at Chattanooga. John Hart said credit to Chattanooga, always a difficult match against them. He mentioned in some games you do get a little lucky, but Paul Christensen made a huge save on the penalty. Now sort of the catalyst in the matchup. And he mentioned we've been working on positioning with Labovitz and Smart, force him into the right spot on the pass, and he was the best player in the match. As we look at our building blocks by Harper General Contractors, kind of been the message consistently for Greenville this season, keep the ball.
I asked John Harks about what stats he likes to look at after games, and he said, I really want to see us keeping the ball. If we keep the ball, we're going to play well. And for Charlotte, get those center backs. This is the second time I think we've heard an opposing coach talking about that with Greenville, getting Fricky and Lee moving side to side and out of position. They're so comfortable when they just sit back there and defend in that block. Try and get those guys moving around. But key for Greenville in possession tonight is not to give up possession, especially in that center third, and let Charlotte get going the other way quickly, because that's where they can kill you. They won their last game and only had 30-something% possession. They can kill you in many different ways and very quickly. You see Don Smart dropping back deep to help out.
They've got some speedy players along with some talented individuals who can deliver a nice ball down the pitch on a dime at a moment's notice.
Going with a change of formation tonight. Matchups, Greenville's 4-4-2. Of course, the Acosta injury perhaps forcing that decision for Mike Jeffries. We're going two up top with Laquetta and Bennett. Looks like Jake Keegan playing more on the right wing for John Harks. We thought we'd see him perhaps as a false nine playing off Labovitz. It looks like Ibarra, who can also play that role, is going to be in that spot for now. Of course, John Harks loves to move his guys around up top as the game progresses. Here's Fenton.
Here's it to Gavilanes, who's sitting further inside right now than you typically find Alan Gavilanes. Keegan. An exchange with Schultz. Not sure if they got the contact he was looking for on it, but vintage cross comes in. Looking for Ibarra. And here's the head honcho on the other side of things, Mike Jeffries. 4-2-2 in his first 8 matches as manager of Charlotte in the League One level. Has already been there for a couple of years.
A very experienced coach, very knowledgeable. Obviously helped get that relationship going with Charlotte FC now. A couple of key loanees on this side.
Already mentioned McNeil's name. Koa Santos, our player to watch on that side of things.
Adrian Zendejas, who would normally be the starting keeper, but he's up with Charlotte, helping them out. And Keegan Meyer also getting injured. That prompted Noah Abrams being brought in.
Ball kept in play and will be cleared out. It's been a hot minute since Charlotte played, but before that they were on just game mode where they were playing over and over again. They had a game on Sunday, then Wednesday, then Saturday before they had their break, and Mike Jeffries said that we were shattered by the end of that. And they were even supposed to play Omaha that next Wednesday, but since they've done so well in the Open Cup, it had to get rescheduled. And ultimately, that benefits both the Owls and Charlotte in this instance. And he said it would have been a really hard game to piece together.
Yeah, 3 games in 7 days is no joke even for professionals. Jeffries said they were very dead-legged in that win over Madison, who Greenville will take on next Saturday at Madison. 2 big games coming up for Greenville.
Santos feeds it inside. Corey Bennett, now Sis will play it out wide. Miguel Ibarra gets past Keegan. Dishes it out to the left-hand side. Bennett once again. Now Sis decides to take the shot himself. And that one looked like it was on target for a moment, but it curled just a hair too much.
I thought it had gone in, Mark. I blinked at it. I thought it had gone inside Paul Christensen's post. It didn't look like he saw it until very late. See if there was traffic in front. There was a little bit, but Christensen definitely saw that one late, but pulled his arm back at the last minute, and it went wide. Yeah, good chance there for Sis, and from Senegal.
Omar Sis has been involved in every single game, started every single one of them this season. Definitely more of a holding midfield type of player, but when you got the lane, you have the lane. It wasn't the worst take, that's for certain.
He's got some USL Championship experience, despite only being 20 years old. Austin Bold.
Here's Bennett once again. A lot of jacks around that ball. They're able to communicate and make sure they didn't just crash into each other. A 1-0 victory over Chattanooga. A clean sheet on the road at CHI Memorial Stadium. Definitely something worth acknowledging. But John Hark said that getting a clean sheet away from home is a sign of discipline in the group. But the fact of the matter is they need to score some goals. He mentioned that players have taken to heart, though, that fact that they just have been lacking in that department. And he said that this Charlotte team's been flying, and it's a whole different animal we're getting into in this game. And we're going to have to score, most likely, and not just on one single opportunity. It may take a couple to win this game.
Yeah, Greenville has just really been struggling in the final third. They lead the USL League One with 110 shots, but their lasting conversion rate with 8% and lasting goals with 6. They had a couple of early chances here that have added to that total. Jake Keegan really hasn't started to get going. We saw him play out on the wing in his first spell with Greenville at times. Although John Harks mentioned at least a couple of times this season he wanted to see Jake Keegan get more central. Jacob Labovitz scored last week and get a chance tonight to play that central role.
He's already had a couple of chances in this game.
John Hark said he's really pleased how the progression has come along with Labovitz.
So here's Keegan once again. Sends the ball inside. Deflection gets collected. Not a lot of pace on that one from Gavilanes. So Noah Abrams will collect it out of the air.
That was a good run in from Gavilanes. Harks likes to invert his wingers and get those fullbacks coming forward. Gavilanes found a spot there, and Keegan found him, just couldn't make good contact enough to get it past Abrams.
Labovitz able to track back and take the ball for Greenville. Hefty collision there between Fricky and Luqueta.
Triumph fans, it's time to get ready for the song of the match. Visit @GDO Triumph on Twitter to vote for the song of the match. Voting will end at the 35th minute.
There's McNeil winning the ball back for Charlotte. Sends the one in to Bennett. Bennett plays it towards goal, and it's an easy save at the end of things for Paul Christensen.
Those kind of giveaways that Greenville can't have. Lost possession in that middle third. Charlotte coming the other way quickly. Bennett, if he had a better first touch there, there's certainly been an even better scoring chance than it ended up being. Paul Christensen in the right place just to fall on that one, but that's worrying for Greenville there. They can't give that ball away anywhere towards the edge of that final third. They've done well tonight with these long balls. Beautiful.
Keegan sends it inside. It's returned right back to him. And that's enough for Charlotte to at least hold the ball, of course, trapped in that corner. And they end up just giving it right back to the Triumph. Fenton chips that one inside and doesn't really connect with anybody.
That's good communication there from Abrams. Had to call his defender off.
Polak stepping on that pass. Now Ibarra. Not sure where that one was going.
It was poor from Ibarra. He had Polak streaking down the left. That was where he was trying to get the ball to, but way too much weight on that pass attempt.
Transition point in this game that both sides have emphasized that the other team are lethal in. We've already seen some opportunities where there have been giveaways and the opposing side has been given an opportunity, just haven't been able to capitalize off of any one of them so far. So rewind back a couple weeks. Last time Charlotte played was against Forward Madison at Madison. And Mike Jeffrey said it's always great to hang on a win when you go on a break.
Yeah, 2 great goals on that one. The lovely cross and then the lob by McNeil off the long ball. It's a 50-yard pass it was to Quinn McNeil. A beautiful finish.
Absolutely. A belting strike from him. Jeffrey said we did a great job limiting their chances, referring to Forward Madison. He said they were very clinical defending in the box. But he mentioned you could see those heavy legs. They were gritty and didn't waver after Madison got a goal back. They hung on. Were able to get that win. And that definitely helps if you want to go on vacation, take a break or anything like that. To do that after a win, you feel less bad about it than if your last result was a loss and you're thinking about that for a week and a half to 2 weeks.
A very clean match so far in these first 15 minutes. No real nonsense. Not sure if referee Albert Kiaminsa has had to blow his whistle yet, really.
Except for the opening whistle, yeah. Good step there. Here's Ibarra. Miguel Ibarra, that is. Sis plays it back to Ibarra. Cross comes inside. Luqueta's header goes straight into the hands of Paul Christensen.
It was always going to be tough for Luqueta to get much power on that header. He was coming away from goal, had Fricky goal side of him. Good work again from Ibarra, now popping up on the right-hand side. What a great addition he was to this team.
Now on the other end, popping pass inside, Ibarra trying to crash in on it. And not Jesus Ibarra.
Mike Jeffrey said he spoke to Landon Donovan, the San Diego Loyal manager where Ibarra played, this is Miguel Ibarra, played last season. He said it was a pretty simple decision soccer-wise to bring him in. He said he settled in well, has a lot of respect around the squad, obviously as a veteran who's played at so many different levels, including MLS. He's only 32. Mark, you and I were both shocked at that he was 2 years younger than Don Smart.
Yeah, I had him written down, or in my head written down as older than Don Smart. He's been there, done that.
Don Smart just defying aging this year. John Hark said they've got the trackers on them this season. He said Don Smart runs more than anybody almost every game. See him dropping back far again tonight, trying to help out, get things going forward. He'll sit alongside Miles Fenton occasionally. I'm sure he'd like to get a little more forward though. See how much Charlotte allows him to do that.
See, there he is, practically in line with the 2 center backs. Trying to keep that one in play was Gavilanes.
Yeah, in this formation, you can go with the double pivot if you need to. You can have Smart pushing forward alongside Ibarra. That's where Walker loves to get from that 6 spot and push up. He's been popping up in all sorts of goal-scoring opportunities this season as Aaron Walker. He missed that header from point-blank range last week, and John Hark said he was very upset at himself. Should have put that one away. Obviously, got the win anyway. Poor giveaway there by Fenton.
You didn't even hear the audible sorry from the pitch for that one. Miscommunication.
Oof. Might be the first card of the match.
First whistle from
not.
Albert Kiaminsa. Grayson Barber, just 2 appearances, already has 2 yellow cards. And this time on the receiving end of a foul.
Grayson Barber, another one with some MLS experience. Played 9 times for Sporting Kansas City last year, and then was waived. Nice little pickup just a couple of weeks ago by Mike Jeffries.
One of several pickups the Charlotte team has gone about and done in these past few weeks, especially this past week.
Obviously connections to the area, having played at Clemson.
Lee lost this one down the pitch. Keegan is there once again. For being knocked out by Ibarra. Be a Greenville throw though in the attacking third. And now Ibarra is on the turf.
It's not a good sign. Yeah, the Clemson program has had some stacked players. I'm looking at that 2020 roster now. Quinn McNeil. Before that, Tanner Dietrich, Robbie Robinson obviously playing in MLS. A bunch of solid players have come through that program.
They're just coming off a national title.
They are.
Looks like after the exchange, Miguel Ibarra went down.
With Mbuyu already out, this would be a big loss if Ibarra would have to exit this one. He looks to be in some pain. They were looking at his knee initially. No, with the ankle, he's clearly in some discomfort.
And it looks like they are going to get that substitution ready to go. Getting dressed is Tomas Maya. He's made 5 appearances and 2 starts this season. He's played just over 150 minutes.
Well, this might mean a change in formation, Mark, because Tomas Maya, that's not good to see. Miguel Ibarra in some serious pain, barely able to put any weight on that left leg. Tomas Maya, more of a wing back. We'll see if they go to the 3 at the back now. Perhaps bring Santos out wide and Maya on the other side, leaving Dimmick, Duty, and Tallboys in the middle. Back to their sort of normal formation where they've been playing of late, that 3-back wing-back system. It's Bennett and Luqueta having a discussion. And there's confirmation of that substitution. 25-year-old Colombian attacking left back.
Was last in the Colombian top flight. As we get this substitution brought to you by Spinks. Ibarra out for Tomas Maya. So Maya comes in. Ibarra is out. Of course, an adjustment / substitution that you're not anticipating making. And like you said, that's another piece pushing forward for Charlotte that they're lacking now with Mbuyu already out, Ibarra, that savvy veteran on the pitch, now also no longer an option.
Meyer himself, in his last start, went off in the 8th minute. He's just coming back and played a couple minutes off the bench against Madison after missing 2 games due to that injury, so keep an eye on him as well.
Luckily, they've had some time to recover. Schultz with his back towards the touchline. That one's brought down nicely. Labovitz tried the shot. It scuffed off a player, and it will be another corner kick. This PNC's corner for kids.
Taken by your Greenville Triumph.
It'll be Don Smart once again, winding up behind the ball. It's inside Labovitz! And somehow that entirely misses the target.
Well, the chance goes begging for the rookie. I think he was actually surprised the ball got to him so cleanly. There was nobody else within 2 yards of him at that back post, and he just couldn't make enough contact. If he made any kind of decent contact, it would have found the back of the net. The far left side of the goal was wide open, with Abrams committing to that back post. And another chance goes begging for Greenville. So 6th shot already.
Lots of chances for Jacob Labovitz in particular in this game. None of them to give for the Greenville Triumph thus far. As McNeil tries to bring this one down, he successfully does so. Here's Bennett. Airborne pass over the left-hand side. Maya getting his first few touches on the ball. And Schultz not only able to block that ball, but also draw the foul. Schultz a little slow to get up. We'll see that collision again here on the 11-11 systems replay.
Yeah, just had position on McNeil, who just undercut him on the way down. Nate Schultz, what a signing. He's been a late signing in the preseason. Noah Frankie got hurt. Schultz came in. It's just a temporary signing from Indy 11, but ended up signing permanently instead. He's made that right back spot his own for now. See Omar Mohammed, Abdi Mohammed departing last season.
A bit of a revelation at that spot, especially with the absence of Frankie. And we might get a card here for that transgression, and that will be the case. Nothing like a little throwing the ball on another player. Coas Santos will collect his third yellow card of the season.
Also has the red card to go with those.
For Charlotte's number 2, Coas Santos, in the 27th minute.
So instead of a throw-in, it'll be a free kick for Paul Christensen.
We mentioned Abdi Mohammed. He's actually been starting at center back for Columbus Crew 2. Off to a great start this season. Only 2 losses so far in 8 games.
He's there with Marco Micheletto, correct?
He is. A bunch of former League One players showing up with Columbus Crew 2. JT Kamara also there, former NCFC player.
Yeah.
Michael Vang, those of you who remember his hot start to one season for Forward Madison. Noah Fuson also playing there. A couple of former Madison guys.
And the Crew also plucked Eric Quell as well from North Texas.
Yeah, Mohamed's playing right center back in their 3-back system. So not quite a true center back. Yeah, a ton of League One talent on that Columbus Crew squad. Eric Quill knows talent when he sees it. Brought it into that squad in Columbus.
Tyler Polak with the throw-in. Looks like being a little tight exchange with Jesus Ibarra. We get throw-in for Charlotte.
Columbus sitting 3rd in the MLX Next Pro table at the moment, just behind Rochester and Revs 2.
Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL League One. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select is League's choice and player's choice.
Half in Richmond, 2-1, as we mentioned earlier, to the kickers. Sharifi early for Tormento, and then Ritchie and Chrysler giving the kickers the 2-1 lead.
Schultz is down for a second time.
He's feeling that collision.
Like it was between him and Corey Bennett. And it'll end up being a free kick for Greenville.
Greenville a little short on the bench defensively tonight. We do have Jimmy Fileman, who's very heavily left-footed. So certainly won't want to see him at right back.
Cavalañez sends this cross inside, and it's plucked out of the air by Noah Abrams. Talking about Charlotte, John Hark said that they love to commit numbers forward. He said they're lethal in transition, so they've been practicing defending that a lot to not only defend it, but also to try and expose them when they're in those counterattack moments. He mentioned he's not surprised by their early season success. He said Mike Jeffries is an experienced coach who knows what he's doing.
kind of put this squad together a little late, obviously with the move down from USL Championship, lost almost their entire squad from last season.
All the way across the goal line and out of play.
You and I, Mark, mentioned Shalom Duty, Clay Dimmick, really the only two guys here from a couple of years ago. Obviously had to cut that payroll quite extensively after dropping down. But yeah, great start to the year for Mike Jeffries, sitting in first place.
Yeah, what else could you ask for?
It's only their third road game, though. They had a ton of home games to start the season.
Very true.
So some of the teams in colder areas had to start on the road, so it was always going to happen. One or two teams got a little lucky with the early schedule.
Ibarra, gets that one blocked away. The aforementioned Shalom Duty, the one who was able to keep that from going towards goal.
Local lad come good, went to high school in Charlotte, played for the Charlotte Eagles. On the All-Southern team with them. Also played alongside Treasure Mbuyu at Liberty University. 2 goals already for Duty this season from the back line.
Good moves there from Gavilanes. Polak tried to feed that one in the middle. Smart will collect the pieces here. Now Luqueta jumping on that pass. We talk about dangerous transition moments. Bennett makes the run forward. Luqueta opts to play it back though. Mike Jeffries, when scouting out Greenville, he said that they have a pretty defined style. He said they're always organized and they're comfortable with both being direct or building from the back when they're attacking. And a needed last-second emergency button clearance there from Brandon Fricke. McNeil trying to shake off Ibarra. Mentioned that they have pretty much been consistent in the way they play throughout the years, talking about Greenville. Mike Jeffries mentioned, though, that one difference this year is he thinks they've got more dynamic players than they've had in years past. That service. An emphatic no from Evan Lee as that entered the 18. There's a look at Jeffries. Two coaches that we're looking at today have a lot of respect for each other, and I think they're good acquaintances as well.
The great thing is, heard today that Wilmington, North Carolina looks to be getting a League One team in a couple of years, so another Carolina rivalry for both of these two teams. Just up the road. I say just up the road, a few hours away for both these sides, but certainly a bus trip.
And I'm sure they won't complain. I know the FC Tucson's and Omahas of the world are thinking, come on, when are we gonna get when do we get some more of these?
They got Fuego this year. We'll get there.
Fuego and Hailstorm, yeah. But still hours upon hours away for them, whereas...
It's a big country, Mark. It's a big country. So I think eventually we might get to sort of a three-division system, perhaps, with East, Central, and Western. Obviously, USL Championship with 2. Get enough teams, cut down the travel costs a little bit. Greenville with 2 big trips coming up, we mentioned, to Madison and then Omaha. 2 teams they've struggled to score against in their history. Assist. Thomas Meyer having a little discussion about some tactical things.
Service comes in. Looks like a push from the back is going to earn the free kick for the Triumph. Miles Fenton going down. As we get some looks at the Reedy River Riot, drumming and showing their support as always.
Always in good attendance. The Reedy River Riot, section 110. Standing room only there. No seats behind that goal. Like the old terrace days in England. It's been a while since we've had a shot on goal here. Mark, 20 minutes since our last shot on target. Such a battle played in the middle third. A couple of block shots.
Mentioned the fans. Nice day out. 77 degrees in Greenville. Not getting to that sweltering heat yet, at least not today.
Let's think about 110. You're staring into the sun for a good portion of the game.
Bennett will tap that out to the right-hand side. Cross comes in. Luckily, there was no one there after that pinged off of Nate Schultz.
Sabara just clearing the lines.
USL Championship newcomers Monterey Bay FC welcome Western Conference contenders San Antonio FC to California. Don't miss a minute as the USL on ESPN continues Saturday, June 11th at 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes.
Might have some Greenville eyes on that one. Monterey Bay with former star goalkeeper Dallas J now in goal for them in the USL Championship. Started 6 of the last 8 games for the new USL Championship side.
That ball from Santos, not making contact with anybody. Curling through the 18, but ultimately going across the goal line for a goal kick.
Paul Christensen's had a pretty quiet night so far. Just a couple of shots on target. And that one low save earlier on. One from Corey Bent, one from Luqueta. Obviously made that one big save right before the penalty, saved the penalty, and then really started things off for Greenville and took momentum and scored that goal after a lovely ball by Don Smart, lovely first-time pass.
Abrams able to keep that one in, avoiding some traffic as bodies were flying his way.
Got a goal in Omaha. US Open Cup hero Brito with the second-minute goal in Chattanooga.
I'm sure Jimmy Obleda is thrilled.
Hasn't having any struggles a little bit lately in Chattanooga. Some key injuries in certain key positions. That's a lovely ball.
Labovitz going forward. Labovitz skies it over the crossbar. Inventive ball going forward. Labovitz had a player on his hip. We see here. Wonderful work by Keegan.
Just on side. Take his time to control the ball a little bit. Not allow Talboys to get back there and at least get in his eyesight. Force that wayward shot from Labovitz, but 3 decent chances for the rookie tonight.
Bennett able to keep his balance and corrals that ball in. He's able to win a corner kick for Charlotte.
First one of the night. So Richmond score a couple of goals from corners on Wednesday night. Charlotte certainly not as much of a tall team as those 2 centre-backs for Richmond. Let's see if they can get there on the end of this one.
Service is low, and the diving header will reject any chance for a Jacks player to get on the ball.
I was going to say, with deliveries like that, you're not going to give yourself much of a chance to put the ball in the back of the net. I know Greenville does like to go short front post corner occasionally, but those are on purpose. That one didn't seem like it was. Talking about the loanees from Charlotte FC earlier, obviously having some coaching changes there. I asked Mike Jeffries if he thought that would be a potential issue. He didn't think so. He said you never know though. And whoever ends up, I think he's got an interim coach for now. If the new coach that comes in decides he wants one of these loanees back, it could happen, but he doesn't expect it to.
I mean, ultimately that would be good news for a Quinn McNeil or a Koa Santos or Andrews and Dejas, but obviously not as beneficial for Mike Jeffries and the Charlotte Independents. There's Fenton pushing his way forward.
Well, Charlotte don't have a B-side in MLS Next Pro, so it's good to get these guys some action.
That one unable to be kept in play.
With the MLS squad, they would be sitting outside the 18 every week. Let's look at some Charlotte Independence fans. The team actually put on a bus for anybody that wanted to jump on. Free tickets. Stopped at the bar before the game. Good to see them making the trip. Nice to see the club putting that on for the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. For some of these closer trips, it's definitely more feasible for fans to show up.
I think we've been seeing it more and more this year with team fans making the trips that are drivable. Especially now you've got all independent sides in the league.
Yeah.
See, when some of the affiliate sides were in there, there was only a handful of fans. In some venues, of course, when you want to make a trip to an away team, you want to have a good home crowd to banter with.
Yeah, yeah, and get a taste of their fan culture. That's a touch from Labovitz. Tried to turn and shoot. Falls to Gavilanes. Couldn't get it past the body.
Yeah, just lacking a bit of confidence in that final third. Just waiting that half second too long, waiting for that perfect ball to fall to you instead of just having a whack at it. Labovitz has been the only one really doing that. Gavilanes should have taken a crack earlier there.
Yeah, gave him the time to get in his face before he ripped the shot. There's the long ball from Christensen. Looking to reach Ibarra. End up falling into the arms of the other keeper, Noah Abrams. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com.
Jake Keegan now. Looks like he's switched with Ibarra. Keegan perhaps going to go to that false line. Ibarra comes out to the right.
McNeil. That's over to the right-hand side. Offside flag goes up. And that'll be the end of that opportunity for Charlotte. Look at Coa Santos writing on a yellow card today. So Paul Christensen will put this one in. We mentioned a couple of massive saves in that Chattanooga game. And John Hark said it himself. You could say this about any position, but it's especially important for keepers to have confidence in. Paul Christensen's got that right now. He mentioned now I kind of want him to use his voice and give more instruction. And also mentioned that he's been focusing on trying to punch the ball more. Thought he had some opportunities in that Chattanooga game to do so. He said that he's always looking to grow and to analyze himself. But the fact of the matter is Paul, as this season has gone along, has proven his worth and his abilities as the starting goalkeeper for the Triumph.
He came back nicely from that mistake earlier this season that led to a goal. And Ben Hale tonight, dealing with a slight injury, the normal backup for John Harkes.
Polak able to step on that exchange. Play still going on. Here's the shot towards goal. It's fallen on top of by Noah Abrams once again. Tyler Polak creating that opportunity just by being pesky.
Polak still seeking his first goal with Greenville. Does pop into those channels occasionally with scoring chances.
Go on the other end. Here's McNeil. He's able to find Barber here over on the left channel. Maya. McNeil. That pass inside is booted into the sky. Stoppage time brought to you by Engineered Sleep, the best handmade mattresses in town. Visit engineeredsleep.com for better sleep. And we've got 2 minutes of the stoppage time here for you. Before we go to half, we'll give you a recap of the action from last weekend. And then we'll get you some of the news and notes hovering around the league, give you some of those updates on the halftime show. So while you're taking your break, grabbing some food.
I think John Harkes will be the happier coach going into the break here. 11 shots for Greenville, 4 of them on target. He may be slightly frustrated, as he has been of late, with his team's failure to convert those golden chances. Still half to go.
Challenge from Gavilanes. First one was good. And I say the second one was as well, but it does go out for a throw. Taken out of the sky by Paul Christensen, and that is an exchange that
It's going to be a card. All day, every day. Can't interfere with the keeper like that. As you can see, Brandon Fricky defending his goalie.
it's been a while since I've seen something like that.
Yeah, Duty was just trying to get away with a bit of chicanery. Half of the Charlotte back line now with yellow cards.
Duty and Koa Santos, for those keeping track at home, or want to keep track at home. So we've hit the 2 minutes, and there's the whistle. Scoreless after 45 minutes, Ross, and like you mentioned, Greenville have had the better chances, but at the end of the day, anyone's game to take in the second half.
Yeah, it's been the story of their season so far, unfortunately, creating plenty of chances, just not being able to put them away. Obviously lost Lomas and McLean from last season. Those two guys that were finishing those chances haven't been able to replace them yet, but 45 minutes still for these two teams to figure it out.
Absolutely, and as we prepare to go into our Oxford Barber Company halftime show, we'll give you all of the updates from the past week's action in USO League One and discuss some other notes. And then after that, we'll get you to the second half. But you're watching the Greenville Triumph and Charlotte Independence here on ESPN+.
We offer a full array of dental treatment, and what that provides you as a patient is you're able to come to one place and get comprehensive care under one roof.
I've always been greeted with a smile. They know me when I call. I trust them.
We'd love to see you at Wood Creek Dental. Visit us at woodcreekdental.com.
The unstoppable spirit lives inside all of us. For Matt and Lisa Kuhn, it's fueled by family, with a business backed by an unbreakable bond and a passion to innovate. They've become leaders in last-mile transportation. That's why First Horizon is proud to celebrate unstoppable spirits like Matt and Lisa. From the first stop to the final destination, we use our understanding to keep our clients on their unique path to success.
When you donate blood with the Blood Connection, you're helping to save lives right here in your community. Donate blood with the Blood Connection, your community blood center.
This is no sleepy-headed, moving in reverse kind of state. We're home to barrier-breaking humans who took $7 billion and invested it in microchips, potato chips, nope, education. This investment, it builds jobs and more jobs where people create things like flying, not that. Who does all this? Forward-thinking pilgrims of change, like you. South Carolina. Now that's...
Welcome to the Oxford Barber Company halftime show. Your score 0-0 between the Greenville Triumph and the Charlotte Independents. Let's take a look at what happened last week in League One action and get you caught up on everything before we get into the second half of this game.
Our last May match day starts in North Carolina. Third straight home match for NCFC, but 12th minute. Richmond gets on the board first. Stephen Payne the cross to Emiliano Terzaghi. He knows what to do with that. His fourth of the season. Richmond up 1-0. And those fans drove the 2.5-hour trek down from Richmond. And they know that Richmond 2-0 when they scored first this season. But look at this header. The cross comes in from Luis Arriaga. Slow it down for you. The back of the head of Garrett McLaughlin. He was facing away from the goal and gets the leveler 1-1. Later in the first half, Jaden Cervania is pulled down in the box. That's called a penalty. Give it back to McLaughlin at the spot, and he puts it home for the 2-1 lead. That would stand through the second half. North Carolina now a league best 7 points from losing positions, and the only League One team with a goal in every match. We go to Chattanooga. Speaking of PKs, Rafa Minsiglin takes it from the right side, gets bumped by Aaron Walker in the box. That's called a penalty. Second penalty of the night in League One. And last week it was Galindrez getting the goal off the PK spot. This time Walepi saved by Paul Christensen. That's the first PK save in League One this season. That keeps it level. 4 minutes later, look at this pass from Don Smart. He leads Jacob Lavovitz across. He finds the back of the net, his first career goal. A 1-0 win. Greenville is unbeaten in its last 9 meetings with the Red Wolves. We go down to Georgia. Tormenta hosts Tucson. 36th minute. Tucson with a chance. It gets cleared out, but all the way to the feet of Tyler Allen. Look at this. This is your goal of the week. Tyler Allen punches it home past Pablo O'Hara, and just 2 minutes later, that's a 1-0 lead for Tucson. Just 2 minutes later, 38th minute now. Midfielder Tevin Shaw collects a yellow, but he had a yellow from the 4th minute. That means a red card. Unfortunately for Tucson, they lead the league with 3 red cards, so they'll have to play a man down for more than 50 minutes. Late in the match, Tucson loses it. Pressure from Tormenta. Alex Morel, how does Carlos Marancio get a fingertip on this? Keeps the shutout alive. Kingsford Agi also with a nice shot in close, parried away. That will be a 1-0 win for 10-man Tucson. Tormenta has no home goals in 5 home matches. We finished off week 9 out west. Fuego hosting Madison. 57th minute, Billion Bijev. No, says Brino. Follow-up, no again. Sergio Chavez on the second attempt. Phil Brino, the keeper, with 6 saves on the night. Still no score. We go to the 82nd minute. Jeremiah String on a string. 1-0 Madison. 82nd minute. So they're going to come out with 3 points on the road with the lead only lasted 10 minutes. Michael Hornsby to Bijev near post header. How do they do it? 4th stoppage time goal this season for Fuego. And Fuego now their 3rd draw when conceding first. 2 home matches, 2 draws for Fuego. Bijev, 3 goals and an assist in the last 3 matches. We started week 10 Wednesday night in Richmond. This is not a recording. Richmond hosting Chattanooga. Set piece showcase. That one from Ethan Bryant to Nathan Ani. He heads to the red smoke. This is not a replay. This is a different play. 3 minutes later, Bryant finds Jalen Chrysler. The 6'4" Jalen Chrysler. Look at the hang time. That's 2-0. Then we get into first half stoppage. Bryant also impacting play. He doesn't get an assist for this one, but from his backside, kicks it out to Candela, over to Leo Baima with the left. 3-0 at the half. And it would stand. All 3 goals were by players scoring their first goal of the season. The Kickers are +6 differential at home in the win. And now this from the USL.
10 years in the making, a dream start for City. Maxi Rodriguez. What a stop by Steinwasser.
And it's into the back of the net. El Paso.
Far corner and it's in. What a goal. Are you watching Football Americas?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Hi there, I'm Lena. My owner, Brooke, she's earning her degree through Anderson University Online. She can access her high-quality classes anywhere, anytime, which gives us plenty of time to play ball, or throw frisbee, or tug on some rope, or practice our human skills. Discover AU online and start earning your degree today. Dogs like me.
And we're back at the Oxford Barber Company halftime show. Now that you're all caught up in everything that happened around the league this last week leading up to this Wednesday, now we can start talking about some of the pressing news and notes around the league. First off, Northern Colorado getting that first home game of the season after being on the road for what feels like forever. And then we also have some international news going around with 9 players getting called up to play in the Nations League and in the African Cup.
Well, it shows you just how much attention these international clubs and coaches have been paying attention to League One now. You watch the games from anywhere in the world, and they're paying attention and bringing these guys up.
Now let's take a look at the scores around the league and what's happening in these other games that are adjacent to ours. First, of course, we have the beatdown from Wednesday, and then a shootout in Richmond, Virginia, as the Kickers in Tormenta 2-2. And we also mentioned the 1-0 lead Omaha from earlier.
Yeah, good late match as well. Madison against Tucson. Yeah, Omaha with that early goal. Joe Brito scoring like he did in the U.S. Open Cup.
Every single weekend, you can never know what to expect from these games, what to guess, what to predict. It has just been so exciting, and I'm sure as we look at the schedule for next weekend, and next week for that matter, we're not going to know what to expect with any of these games as well.
No, this league is just insane at the moment. So much talent, so much competition. You can mention Greenville going to Madison next week, a place they haven't scored a ton of goals at, but we'll see how they do in that one. Omaha with a trip to Tucson as well next weekend.
Charlotte Independence, one of their 2 losses this season was against the Richmond Kickers, and now they will go to Richmond and try to get some payback. And with that in mind, we're going to step aside for another moment. When we come back, we'll have the highlights and stats here on the Oxford Barber Company halftime show. Then we'll get the second half underway here on ESPN+.
When you donate blood with the Blood Connection, you're helping to save lives right here in your community. Donate blood with the Blood Connection, your community blood center.
The unstoppable spirit lives inside all of us. For Matt and Lisa Kuhn, it's fueled by family, with a business backed by an unbreakable bond and a passion to innovate, they've become leaders in last-mile transportation. That's why First Horizon is proud to celebrate unstoppable spirits like Matt and Lisa. From the first stop to the final destination, we use our understanding to keep our clients on their unique path to success.
Is that a meatball? What the? Oh yeah, it's meatball time.
Limoncello, the official pasta and proud sponsor of the Greenville Triumph.
This is no sleepy-headed, moving in reverse kind of state. We're home to barrier-breaking humans who took $7 billion and invested it in microchips, potato chips, nope, education. This investment, it builds jobs and more jobs where people create things like flying, not that. Who does all this? Forward-thinking pilgrims of change, like you. South Carolina. Now that's smart.
Be more than flexible. Be stretch flexible with Stretch Zone, the proud sponsor of tonight's match. All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights brought to you by Palmetto State Home Mortgage. No goals to show for, but still some chances, many on the side of the Greenville Triumph.
Yep, Jacob Lavovitz with a good side-footed effort there to force an early save from Abrams. This was a good shot from distance from Sis that I thought had gone in initially. Just skimmed the outside of the net.
Another chance here for Corey Bennett. Wasn't able to corral it in at the first touch and so could put the best shot on goal. You see here, both sides had opportunities, but both lacking that clinical or lethal touch necessary to put their team ahead.
Yeah, that was one there that Lavovitz perhaps should have put on target. We're hearing he perhaps maybe subbed at the half. As you see, 11 shots for Greenville. Only the 4 on target. Independence with just the 2 shots on target so far. Really got to get things going in the second half offensively. Greenville now 7 of their 9 games without a goal in the first 45 minutes.
Incredible numbers there from Ross Davenport. These stats brought to you by Warehouse Services. 0-0. The shot disparity heavily in Greenville's favor, but at the end of the day, if you don't notch them into the back of the net, it's not but so important. So we're going to get some substitutions here. And Jacob Lavovitz going to come out of the game for Benton Evans. And then on the Charlotte side of things, Will Vint coming in for Corey Bennett. So 1 substitution, a pop for both sides, making some halftime changes to shake things up. These substitutions brought to you by Spinks. We'll see formation-wise how Greenville shift. Benton Evans, though, not unfamiliar with playing up top, though, from his Fort Lauderdale days.
Yeah, no, a guy we've seen do some damage from the middle. See if Keegan obviously going a little centrally now, too. They'll have a bit of a false start, I think, to start this second half. As for Charlotte, bringing that 5th man into the midfield with Will Vint now and try and help out McNeil and Sis. As perhaps the ball wasn't in good enough shape. And they change balls. So changing players.
Yeah, this ball substitution brought to you by Spinks.
And by Select. So you can see Benton Evans now going to get a chance a little more centrally. It's been used mostly out wide so far. Playing very much centrally during his time in Jamaica before he came up to play for Fort Lauderdale. The bar will be out wide on that right. He's used to being. We're going to come back for that foul on Schultz.
Ref playing some advantage with then Ibarra trapped in a corner. So opting to go back and reward that transgression. So here's Polak. Dishing over to the left-hand side for Gavilanes. That ball may have suffered a deflection, and it has. So we'll go out for a corner kick. PNC's corner for kids. Corner kick, to be precise. Both teams getting themselves ready. Not sure what happened there. Fenton having to clear a ball out.
Yeah, decent first half, Miles Fenton. Didn't make any key mistakes. Did his job back there slowing down that Independence transition. And he had those 2 shots, neither of which really bothered Christensen.
That one trying to flick on towards goal, but ultimately nothing to come of it from Venton Evans. Will end up just being a goal kick.
Yeah, John Hark's not waiting to too late in the second half to make changes. Evans coming on for Labovitz. Labovitz with those 3 scoring chances. Last one he really should have put on target. Got some good competition in those front positions, especially out wide. Evans can play there. Ibarra, Gavilanes. Saw Fileman play on the wing last week. John Hark said what he needs is healthy competition in all spots. Of course, doesn't have it at the back right now with the injuries to Frankie and Smith. He's going to give the chances to those that perform well in training and in matches. Labovitz being rewarded for his goal last week with the start tonight, but pulled at the half.
Mentioned Fenton getting the start tonight as well, or this evening.
Yeah, I mean, that one was just more of whoever they had left at defensive midfield, with Pearson also out on international duty.
Schultz just strolling up the pitch there, no one engaging. Of course, we've got a close match here score-wise, 0-0 between these two sides. Been a ton of one-goal games and draws, of course. Throughout this season, Mike Jeffrey said it himself that all these one-goal matches, he said this league is incredibly tight. He mentioned the level is good, and the standings are going to be jumbled until a team establishes themselves as a cut above. And he mentioned that these one-goal games benefit defensive sides like Omaha Greenville, even though Charlotte has done well in these close matchups so far this season. As this corner kick comes swinging in, and it's bites back inside, the clearance away. Omar Sis getting it away.
I'm not sure if it was going on target, but a valiant effort from Jake Keegan to try and find his first League One goal in a very acrobatic fashion.
Well, whether it was going to go towards goal, it was going to get put back into the mixer one way or the other. And Sis just hitting the eject button and launching that one out. Duty feels some pressure there from Venton Evans. Now Koa Santos is not able to get around Don Smart.
Don Smart, superb work back by the veteran. Had to be on his horse there. Stop that transition chance. Charlotte had some bodies flowing forward.
Keegan is able to bring that one down. No whistle blown for a handball. Here's Polak. Squares at the top. Keegan tries to shoot, and that one just a toe blow of sorts. And just
well, I think that was perhaps karma. There was a clear handball by Jake Keegan in the build-up that the referee completely missed. So perhaps that was things evening out.
Ball making things right at the end of the day. That one's going to go out. New 5th, 3rd locations coming to Greenville soon. Remember to stop by our newest addition located at 1600 Augusta Street. Zabara. Play it back to Schultz. Pretty much Greenville holding the ball this entire half so far. Here's the cross of Schultz. Couldn't connect with Evans. Fenton will head it back out to Ibarra. Jesus Ibarra weaving forward. Kicks it back out to the right back. It's poked out of his possession, but it'll still be a Greenville throw. Ibarra keeps it in play. Sends this one into the middle! And the save is not enough to stop it! The substitute, Fenton Evans, heads Greenville into the lead.
And that's the way to make an impact. Evans has been brought on to convert chances. He takes his first one, deposit it's past Abrams. Plenty of power on that header. Looked initially like it was too close to Abrams, but too much power on that header from the Jamaican.
A blistering header from Fenton Evans. As we take a look at this one again, Jesus Ibarra sends it inside, puts it on a platter for Evans, and like you said, just packed too much of a punch on the finish.
Mike Jeffries will be disappointed with the positioning of those Charlotte defenders. Should have been goal side of Evans, at least in front between him and the ball, and they were neither. That was too easy for the big man.
That goal brought to you by the YMCA of Greenville and Fenton Evans. He talked about in the first half that there was just a lack of an oomph on some of those finishing attempts from Greenville. Well, Fenton Evans, coming off the bench, brought that little extra juice on the finish. It doesn't have to be a perfect placement. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to check every single box, but sometimes if you could just put it with authority towards goal, you'll have something go your way. His second goal of the season, Fenton Evans, coming from Kingston, Jamaica.
That's what Greenville will kill you with the crosses. That's their 15th or 16th of the night, and this one was right on target, and Fenton Evans finished it nicely.
That's the first league assist of the season for Jesus Ibarra. Like you mentioned, crosses aplenty for the Greenville Triumph throughout the season. And you've got Ibarra and Gavilanes, usually the ones playing out on those wing positions. They love just whipping in some passes into the 18 for players to get on the end of.
John Harkes is going to stick with the hot hand up top. It was Labovitz last week. Tonight it's Evans. You score goals, you're going to find yourself in that starting 11.
Absolutely, and he's been starting more in those midfield roles, getting the chance to sit up top once again. Talk about how he had that opportunity at Fort Lauderdale. Scored 4 goals and 2 assists last season in League One play. So now we'll see if the Jacks can find a response. Finding themselves trailing here early in the second half. Will Vint sends that ball in. Wind up shot towards goal, and it zips over the top of the net. And out for a goal kick, ultimately harmless in the end, but a dangerous moment there. I think Grayson Barber the one letting that one fly.
He had a ton of space on the edge of the box. Greenville's got to be careful with that. Those second balls fall into those creative Charlotte midfielders. Don't want to give him too many chances like that.
And here come the Jacks once again. That one slips through both players. It'll end up being Gavilanes who will launch it sky high across half field and all the way to the other side. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community. Through the Forever Proud project, the USL strives to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/foreverproud. Well, outscored it out by Evan Lee. Going out for a goal kick.
We all know how tough Greenville are when they score that first goal mark. Certainly be looking for that second one, though, to put this game potentially away. Didn't find it last week against Chattanooga, but held on.
And it's funny you talk about scoring a second goal, because when Greenville scores 2 goals at home, fans can go to Habitat and provide their match day ticket or say code Eat More Beer to receive $2 off happy hour pricing. You like that?
I do. It's purely accidental.
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
Greenville, they only have the one multi-goal game so far this season. That was the 2-0 win over Madison. And they will play again next weekend.
That's also their last home game. It's been a hot minute.
Only one loss in the last 5, though, coming into this one for Greenville. Got off to a bit of a slow start, but even though they're not scoring goals, in bunches, they're picking up wins. And this has been their MO since their inaugural season. So good defensively. Moments last season where Lomas and McLean were banging them in, but then there was some injuries, and obviously got unstuck in that championship game against Omaha. But brought most of the core back from last year.
Talk about the success Greenville had last season, despite some of that adversity. And if you want to take a look back at what Charlotte did last year, also wildly successful in their USL championship season. They're looking to bring that formula of success here to the USL League One level.
And Greenville just had that one funky patch last year when they were dealing with a ton of injuries. Gone all the way to the final. What would have been a 3rd straight season if they'd had the final in 2020. So every team, every manager knows how this team plays, and they still find it difficult to unlock them.
Yeah, there's no mistaking what Greenville is going to do, that's for certain.
They've gone with experience, they've gone with discipline, they've gone with guys with that real team personality. It's worked so far for John Harkes.
Tight passes here for the Greenville back line, trying to avoid some pressure from Charlotte Independence. If it was a tough nut to crack when it was 0-0, it is all the tougher to break down now that you're trailing a goal.
Starting to push a little higher, though, now, Charlotte.
Coa Santos with the one-touch cross.
That's a man you don't want to leave too much space out on the wing.
Here for the pregame, you saw the cross he delivered last time they played to Ivan Luqueta. And he demonstrated it several times in that game and in other games that he can whip in a pass or two. This Greenville defense breaking it down. That one goes off a body, cleared out once again.
Some half-hearted appeals for handball, but I think he hit Brandon Fricky square in the face. Not sure how much he knew about it. The last minute of action in Richmond, still 2-2 there between Richmond and Torment, and that's a result that'll please everybody else around the league. You just want to see other teams drawing.
Here comes Venton Evans. Evans fires a shot. Goes straight into the gut of Noah Abrams. Here's a look on the 11-11 systems replay. I think Evans recognizing he had no help, and so he had to let it fly when he could.
Yeah, made good contact, but right into the gut of Abrams.
Abrams just acquired yesterday and starting, and it looks like we're also going to get second new addition to the team to get subbed into the game here in a moment. That for Charlotte Independence, of course. As that one comes out, we'll get that substitution now. Grayson Barber coming out for Ilya Shevtsov, the Ukrainian forward, 22 years old, was announced earlier this week. He's still trying to get his legs underneath him in this time zone. But here he is in the flesh.
Yeah, what a story. Ilya Shevtsov, obviously the Ukrainian league not playing at the moment because of what's going on over there. Certainly some players looking to get signed by teams, and Shevtsov's found his way here to Charlotte. See if he can make an immediate impact. You mentioned, Mark, he only got to town on Tuesday, so only has a couple of training sessions under his belt, but played a good amount in the top league in Ukraine as well as for some of their youth national teams.
Mike Jeffrey said he can play anywhere up front and at the number 10 spot. Mentioned he'll be on the bench for this first game, and also talked about that he's just a dynamic player who's technical. They had him in for training when they found out he was out of the country. And he mentioned that Thursday when we got the chance to talk to Mike Jeffries, he said that on that day, Shevtsov was rather excited after Ukraine won that game against Scotland. Have that match tomorrow against Wales with a ticket to the World Cup on the line, with a chance to play your English side and my U.S. side. So,
yeah, I'm sure he'll have eyes on that one tomorrow at lunchtime.
Airborne collision there between Ibarra and Duty. Clutching his back, Jesus Ibarra. This is one of the situations where two players go up for a ball, and you know, there
wasn't a lot of contact there.
This is a dangerous game. Two players are going up for it. Another look there at Ilya Shevtsov.
Hopefully he told his family back home that this game was available on YouTube. It's deep into the night in Ukraine, though. Might provide a little bit of happiness for some people going through a tough time at the moment over there.
So family and close friends, I'm sure, are willing to stay up late for it. And here's a chance on the counterattack. Luketa gets it to Shevtsov. Don Smart, though, more than up for the challenge. The savvy veteran saying, welcome to League One. Cross comes in. I was looking for the Ukrainian. Smart will clear it away. Now Vint pokes it inside. Still will Vint. A couple of slides from several players, mainly Vint on that occasion. It's still the Jacks on the ball. Duty over the left-hand side. Here's Sis. He's able to get through two players, gets tripped up, draws the foul. We also have Don Smart, who is slow to get up. And that's something you do not like to see. You said it in the first half. John Hark said if you ask him, he feels the best both physically and mentally as he's ever been. He's talked about how much he loves the environment in Greenville. Hark said that him and his partner have had a child, so he's happy off the field, and sometimes that's the most important thing to performing on the pitch. And then he said he takes care of himself, but every now and then we have to catch him and tell him when he has to reel it in and slow down. He's 34 years old, so you're not like these 22, 23-year-olds out there who can run all over the place without any worry.
And we did hear Noah Pilato might be coming on, but maybe for not who it was originally supposed to be, as Don Smart remains down. Pilato Pretty much a like-for-like sub for Smart in the middle. He's clearly dealing with a hamstring, maybe a little cramp.
Didn't get to see the collision that occurred, if any, for Don Smart. Talk about just how much he's been tracking in these games, so always got to be careful to not push himself too far. He's able to get up on his own, though, and walk off the pitch. But that might be the end of his night.
Seems to be walking okay. See Rachel Gordon, the athletic trainer for the Triumph there. She's been busy this season, but a dangerous free kick here. Unfortunately, no Miguel Ibarra on the pitch to take it. Looks like maybe Vint will step up. It's full time in Richmond, 2-2 the final there between the kickers and Tormenta. Still 1-0 Omaha there at the half. 0-0 Madison Tucson. That's underway, 25 minutes in there.
So McNeil will retreat. It's Santos and Vint. Santos takes it. Curls inside. Header a couple times. It goes across the face of goal, but does not find its way in.
I'm not sure how that one stayed out, but the Greenville defenders are thanking Paul Christensen, and he may have come up with another big save here. Yeah, stuck out his left palm and knocked it away. We couldn't see it due to some traffic on the original shot, but another great save by Christensen. Keep his team up 1-0.
Well, I'm not sure if that's a punch in the English sense of clenched fist, throwing at something, but he was able to get his hand in there and disrupt the ball that was going straight towards Quinn McNeil, it looked like, or Carson Talboys.
Certainly the most dangerous ball into that Greenville box tonight.
The nickname he's earned, Paul the Wall, proving it again tonight, looking for a 4th clean sheet. If he can hold it, is tied for league leading with 3. So he could put himself at the top of that stat category.
Don Smart back on the field. Good to see. Seems to be moving all right.
So won't get subbed out of the game. They have another player down. Looks like that's Schultz.
Not sure why the referee stopping play there. It wasn't a head injury.
So they had about 3 or 4 players in that Charlotte bench who jumped up in unison. Bumped into Shetsov.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision because Charlotte were going the other way with numbers. Referee Kie Mensah stopped the game. Schultz took one in the midriff.
We are going to get a Greenville substitution here, not for Nate Schultz, but it will be for Miles Fenton, who will see his first professional start come to a conclusion. And in his place, Noah Pilato, who is still recovering from injury, trying to get back into the swing of things, but such a crucial player on this Greenville team. This substitution brought to you by Spinks.
He struggled with injuries so much last season. Hurt his ankle earlier in this campaign. Came off the bench last week. John Hart said there was no other effects from that. It was just a little muscle soreness, which you have to expect after not playing in so long. But a decent effort from Miles Fenton in his first pro start. Did what he had to do, kept the opposition off the board.
Yeah, I'd say a success.
We'll see if Aaron Walker returns to action. Oh, assist is still giving referee Kie Mensah a mouthful. Not sure how long he's going to allow this to happen. He's still going at him. Well, this is a surprise that it's a Greenville free kick, that's for sure.
Man, not only stopping an attack, but then giving possession to Greenville.
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
I mean, I guess by that logic, it makes sense that they stopped the play. But the fact that it was a foul in favor of Greenville is the questionable part now. As this one's laid off for Smart.
Oh, what a lovely goal that would have been.
The combination inside of the 18. Smart couldn't put it on frame.
Smart made the initial pass. Pilato. Keegan dropped it back for Smart on the edge of the box, and it's always going to be a hard one to keep down when that ball's coming back at you like that.
Nate Schultz back out on the pitch for Greenville. Been down a couple times in the game, but has been able to get back up each and every time. Vint dished it out to the right-hand side for Santos. Feeling some pressure from Gavilanes.
Go Greenville, take it away! Take it away, Greenville! Go Greenville!
Mike Jeffrey said it himself, it is not easy to break down this Greenville defense. He said they do a great job being compressed and at back pressing. He mentioned we need to get them out of position and to be careful in the middle of the field because they can hit you on the counter. Kind of like what they could do right here. Ibarra is able to get by duty. Jesus Ibarra squares in the middle to nobody.
Well, Keegan was there originally, but then made the front post run, and Ibarra didn't look up to see where his center forward was. And unfortunately, a bit of a miscommunication. A good run by Ibarra.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app.
"17 shots now for Greenville. Charlotte's 5. And the usual solid defensive effort for the home team. Charlotte have actually had more passes in the final third than Greenville, but just haven't been able to do much to get past Paul Christensen. There's a chance for Greenville, though.
Keegan squares it across. Look at that find. Ibarra stuttering, shooting. It suffers a deflection. It's punched over. Noah Abrams able to stumble back and get that one out. A fantastic find from Jake Keegan to connect with Ibarra. And trying to get off Maya. And the deflected shot posing some threat. But the keeper up for it.
Big block by Duty. Almost looped over Abrams. Great save in the end by the new keeper. Let's see if Greenville can turn this pressure here into a second goal.
PNC's corner for kids. A high arcing ball. Headed back up. Ultimately nothing to come of it, at least immediately. Here's Gavilanes once again. One-on-one with Dimmick. Still Gavilanes. Tried the shot. Got to be careful in these moments if you're Greenville. And now they're on the prowl once again. Gavilanes gets shoved down inside the box. And it is going to be a penalty awarded.
Yeah, Sis just too much weight into the back of Alan Gavilanes, and any savvy attacker will know to go down in that situation. Referee K. Mensah pointed to the spot, and a chance here for Greenville to make it 2-0. Although their regular penalty taker, Aaron Walker, not on the pitch. Gavilanes with the quick feet got the other side of Sis, and yeah, that was just the hand on the shoulder and the nudge in the back.
Also might have clipped his leg as well. The call from Albert Kiemensah to send Greenville to the line. A chance to really put this one in a comfortable spot for the Greenville Triumph. It's also worth noting Nazim Bartman scoring for Warren Madison against FC Tucson.
Well, Evan Lee, of all people, has the ball in his hand.
I don't know these days. You've got the whole the new
the
new fad is getting a player to carry the ball and not be the one to take it.
I was going to say Don Smart. You'd think would be the. I was going to say the smart decision. Sorry, Mark.
I'll permit it.
To take this one.
I think the deserving player too with how he played. And now we're going to get our third yellow card issued for the Charlotte Independents. Thomas Maya with his first of the season.
The referee has
Don Smart with a 60% success rate in his penalties. It's 3 for 5. His last one taken was back in October 2019. He missed that one for Forward Madison, but he did make one the month before against FC Tucson. Also scored a couple back in his NASL days.
Wearing the captain's armband today. Smart plays it towards the net. And it's a 2-goal lead for the Greenville Triumph.
Don Smart with some things to say afterwards. You get a card for that, inciting some of the Charlotte players, but Reedy River Wright doesn't care.
Don Smart, 34 years old and still kicking it. That goal brought to you by the YMCA of Greenville and Don Smart as we look at it again.
Stutter step and a solid pass into the bottom left-hand corner of Abrams' goal. Not sure who Smart is coming to say something to. Cowboys didn't like it.
Mentioned 2-0 the scoreline last time Greenville played at home. 2-0 once again here today. Looking to make that statement at home once again.
Well, I did say pregame, Mark, that if they won this game by a couple of goals, they would be in first place, and that's where they are at the moment. Greenville Triumph are in first place in USL League One as things stand.
Where were they, 7th before this game started?
They were 7th coming in.
League One chaos, you gotta love it.
Obviously, he spent nearly all of 2020 in first place. Not so much the first season. North Texas were up there for most of that campaign. Obviously, Omaha and Chattanooga spent most of the last season in first. Greenville starting to play their game. Even with the injuries, they're starting to get healthier. First 2-goal game since that win over Madison. Still 10 minutes for Charlotte to figure something out here. They really haven't looked like much of a threat to score. Shevtsov now, but dispossessed.
They do have a tendency to score late, but definitely a tall order to not only do it twice, but do it twice against Greenville. And you mentioned that, hopping up the table. John Hark said it himself. I was asking him, some of these results have been so wild and unpredictable these past few weeks, and I asked if we're still in the acclimation period of the season where teams are figuring out, or if we're just going to have as tight as a season as we had last year. And he said it's going to be tight again. He mentioned that sometimes you see big blowouts in the USL Championship, but it's going to be rare to see that here. He said a 2-3 goal lead is not only hard to get, but also hard to hold on to.
I think especially with the loss of so much talent to the USL Championship, MLS Next Pro, you got Omaha lost 7 stars from that final game. They've come back to the pack a little bit with that. Other teams have lost key players as well. Greenville managed to hold on to most of theirs, except the 2 guys up top, obviously. They're starting to look a lot more like themselves now. And the referee's injured. Oh, man. He's in some discomfort. We may have to have a referee change here.
Albert K. Mensa, our head official.
So I'm trying to think. I think the rule is that the first assistant referee on that side may have to replace him, and then the AR would come over into the middle. We'll see if that happens. Yeah, he's telling the new official the time remaining. We'll see if he can walk it off.
You can now take your match ticket or use code
No, I think he's done.
to receive $2 off your happy hour pricing at Habitat.
So as we wait for all this to get squared away, hopefully our head official is doing all right.
It looks like the 4th official may come on and go straight into the middle. which is an interesting decision. Not sure the protocol.
I think that's what I've heard at a time before, but that's me talking out of my rear end here.
No comment.
The fourth official is Kyle Johnston.
Yeah, he's definitely been in the middle for some League One games. I've heard his name before.
We're gonna get a corner kick here for the Charlotte Independents. Ball comes swinging in. Cowboys heads it back into the mixer, nodded away nicely. Maya sends it back inside. Lee has had enough of that.
Yeah, Kyle Johnston's refereed a few League One games this season.
Evans dashing forward. Still on the ball. Crosses it over to Don Smart. Smart keeps it in play. Back into the middle. That's going to be a corner kick. Duty got a touch on that one.
Yeah, Don Smart just couldn't get the bounce to go his way. Otherwise, I think he would have struck that one first time. Greenville fans understandably enjoying themselves so far tonight. See if their team can make it 3 here.
Gavilanez will be the artist behind this corner kick. Another high arcing corner.
Evan Lee is all over the back of Tarboys. Just dragged him to the ground, and Tarboys earns the free kick.
Don Smart just crunching into Quinn McNeil there. The two swiping each other as they were sprinting in opposite directions.
That's a concerning spot to get fouled on. Not much padding there. McNeil, the Greenville native, will get the yellow card.
His second yellow of the season. One of the loanees from Charlotte FC. A 5-time South Carolina state champion when he was playing club soccer before going off to Clemson. So a guy successful in the South Carolina, and more particularly the Greenville area, but now donning the opposing colors here, playing back in his hometown.
Substitution presented by Spinks for Greenville. Entering the match, number 2, Jimmy Filerman. Leaving the match, number 11.
So Jesus Ibarra will come out of the game for Jimmy Filerman. Ibarra with the assist on the first goal to Venton Evans, which currently stands as the game winner.
You can see where Filerman goes here. More of a left-sided player. Perhaps Gavilanez will go to the right. Filerman making some moves now. Looks like Tyler Polak has played some left midfield in his time. Asked John Harkes about Jimmy Filerman earlier this week. Started on the wing last game. Said he brings a little more physicality than Gavilanez and Ibarra.
That substitution brought to you by Spinks. Low ball inside, Venton Evans! A much-needed block by Cowboys.
They've had some key last-second blocks tonight from Charlotte. Otherwise, this game could be a lot worse. You can see some communication issues happening at the back.
It's the 11-11 systems replay. Pilato, the one with the squared ball inside, and Evans looking for a brace. Gavilanez with the cross inside! And Evans' header harmlessly over top.
Yeah, Greenville just growing and growing more in confidence as this game gets towards its conclusion. That puts them over 20 shots now. Lead League One in shots. Better conversion rate tonight. Had less possession tonight though than Charlotte, only 45%. 20 touches in the opponent's box to Charlotte's 7. That really tells the story of how ineffective the visitors have been overall in that final third. Of course, Many teams find themselves being ineffective in that area against this Greenville side, just so good defensively. Jeffstoff trying to get involved in his first game stateside.
And it doesn't get much easier for the Charlotte Independents moving forward. This is the first of 7 games on the road in their next 9. You talked about their home stretch at the start of the season. Well, now it gets paid back to them. Their next one, a trip to Richmond. One thing Mike Jeffrey said, though, he mentioned it will be a test, of course, but on the bright side, they're luckily a Southeast team, which makes travel for a lot of these games not as bad. Like a Greenville, like a Richmond, like a North Carolina FC.
Yellow card there for Omar Sis. A clumsy challenge.
His second yellow of the season.
Tucson have tied things up. This move here by Gavilanes, a little spinorama. Omar Sis had enough of that and said, hey, taste the turf. He'll take that yellow. Yeah, Tucson 1-1 now in Madison. Mentioned Mark Barton with his goal in his consecutive games.
So got a couple of games to take from.
A couple of games ago he scored against Charlotte. That nice strike from the left side.
He's got a boot on him, that's for certain.
He's finding himself in good positions, Bartman. He wasn't getting starts early. Greenville taking their time here, as you do.
And once this game expires, you've got a couple of good selection of games. Still got over 30 minutes at CHI Memorial Stadium, where Omaha leads 1-0. 1-1 between Tucson and Ford Madison now.
Charlie Matchell with the goal for Tucson, the Englishman.
Mentioned it earlier. Greenville's next game at Madison. Meanwhile, for Charlotte, just mentioned it moments ago, they have to go to City Stadium to play the Richmond Kickers. Drawing 2-2 to Tormenta earlier today.
Don Smart going to go the 90 again. Jimmy Fileman trying to find Jake Keegan.
Polak jumping on that pass. Tyler Polak dashing forward. And he gets thrown to the ground by the Ukrainian. Ilya Shevtsov.
Lucky not to find himself in the book.
Yeah.
On that one. Tyler Polak. Don't see him making those runs too much up the middle.
Yeah, an odd place to see him, that's for certain.
But be able to push forward a little more with Fileman. Dropping back to left back. So Don Smart fancy a crack from distance here.
Serves it over to the right-hand side. Filerman tried the chested volley. Stoppage time brought to you by Engineered Sleep, the best handmade mattresses in town. Visit engineeredsleep.com for better sleep. And we got 5 more minutes of this one.
Greenville might go to sleep on their Engineered Sleep mattresses tonight in first place. Omaha would need to hold on at Chattanooga. Even if that game ends in a tie, Greenville would still be in first. Madison, Tucson, obviously a little further down the table, no threat there. Central Valley with a bye this week. Only 4 games in USL League. 1 NCFC will play on Wednesday with a chance to take first place themselves.
There's a hopeful ball to Keegan. Headed down by Duty. No whistle blown after the contact.
Jake Keegan just got his feet tangled up a little bit. He's ran hard tonight, Jake Keegan. A couple half chances, but still not on the scoreboard in USL League. One of his only goals so far, as you mentioned earlier, Mark, in US Open Cup play. I don't think John Hawks will be too concerned as long as he's getting goals from somewhere. It's Venton Evans tonight with the opener. And the penalty from Don Smart.
Gavilania is drawing that ever light on his feet. That one falls easily into the arms of Paul Christensen.
Yeah, Noah Frankie and Jamie Smith will soon be back healthy. That'll perhaps give Tyler Pollock and Nate Schultz a rest now and again.
The offside flag will go up for Gavilaniez.
I think Noah Pilato will perhaps be ready soon to get back into the starting lineup. Obviously not ready tonight. With Aaron Walker out, you would expect Pilato or the absent Peter Pearson to step into that midfield, but neither able to. We have a sub here, a couple of subs here for Charlotte.
So we've got a sub party here. Noah Bierman making his professional debut. Jefferson Amaya coming in for his third appearance. And then Nico Brown coming into the game.
It's like Alex Cox-Ashwood as well. Let's see Nico Brown back after his ankle injury earlier this season.
And it's Luqueta, Sis, Gavilaniez, and Keegan making their way off. Noah Bierman, 18 years old, his first appearance as a pro, coming from Charlotte, North Carolina. Amaya in the same boat, 18 years old, Charlotte, North Carolina resident. And then Nico Brown with his fourth appearance of the season. And Alex Cox-Ashwood, his third appearance, but just about 5 minutes total in those 2 games played.
I like Alex Cox-Ashwood's appearance in the meatball commercial we saw.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a chance for Polak, maybe.
Squares over to the right-hand side. Cox-Ashwood tries the shot towards goal. Falls down to Nico Brown.
Just the extra
Pilato
touch.
winds up for it.
Pilato only scores bangers. That would have been another one. Cox-Ashwood really should have just smashed that one first time, took the extra touch. And you'll learn in this pro game you can't do that. Most of the time there'll be a defender there waiting to pounce if you do pass up that first strike. Tyler Pollock was going to maybe take that one on goal.
As we're under a minute left to go here at Legacy Early College. Ultimately, without the presence of Trezor Mbuyu, the Greenville defensive unit proving too stout, too tough for Charlotte. And then the Triumph in their goal-scoring woes, able to find a couple here today.
And Greenville with an XG of 3.34 tonight. Charlotte only 0.47. Nico Brown is down and playing with it on the ground with his hand. That'll be a free kick. 18 of Greenville's 24 shots from inside the box, 9 of them on target. Abrams had to come up big to keep this score 1-0 for a while. Couldn't keep out that penalty. And this should just about do it here, I think. Maybe the clearance.
And that will do it here. A 2-0 victory for the Greenville Triumph. Hart celebrates with his staff. Another impressive win at home. 2-0 for the second home game in a row for the Triumph. And it's the third loss of the season for what was the top of the table, Charlotte Independence. Greenville now taking that spot for the moment in what is just a crazy, crazy League One season where everyone's leapfrogging each other throughout these games, throughout these weeks.
Greenville have been producing the shots, just haven't been able to find the goals, but 2 of them came tonight. Yes, one was from the penalty spot, but they won't care. That man, Don Smart, with another stellar effort in the center of midfield, especially without Aaron Walker. I'm sure he was watching from the stands and enjoying this one. Greenville take it 2-0.
And with that, we're going to step aside for a brief moment, and then we'll wrap up everything, get you your closing highlights and stats, and then put a closer on this one on ESPN+.
There's no substitute for hard work. You have to put in the time. Dedicate yourself to the goal. I didn't make it to the Hall of Fame on my own. I had a team, and we worked hard together. I had coaches and a playbook with the answers. It's no different in business. Now I own a Janny King franchise because they've got the winning playbook and a team that supports me. Get in the game and get ready to shine. Go to JannyKing.com to get started today.
Hey, Triumph fans! Whenever the Greenville Triumph scored not one goal, but 2 goals during a home game, you score big with happy hour pricing and all specialty beers at Habitat. Just bring your game day ticket or tell your server Eat More Beer to enjoy these special beers paired with fresh, scratch-made food. We also offer an extensive menu of cocktail, wines, and a great place to watch all the away games of the Greenville Triumph. Swing by Habitat and cheer on the team. Habitat, proud sponsor of the Greenville Triumph.
With Academy Sports and Outdoors, you can take outdoor fun to a whole new level with just a touch of a button. Because there's so much to discover on the Academy app. Create your dream outdoor living space that gets the whole family out there spending time together. Master new recipes with just the right amount of heat and the perfect spice or seasoning. And give the kids even more ways to play. Great times are waiting. Download the Academy Sports and Outdoors app today.
Your Priority 1 security full-time score is Greenville 2, Charlotte 0. As the Triumph get another win at home at Legacy Early College. Mark Schoenster alongside me, Ross Davenport. Let's take a look at our GSP Airport play of the match, and it's that first goal that ended up notching in the 3 points for Greenville.
It was a lovely turn by a bar, a good cross, and Evans, Charlotte player, was behind him, and professional striker's going to score like that. Most times than not, good finish by the former LCF man.
Worth noting, fans, once again, when the Triumph scores 2 goals at home, fans can go to Habitat and provide their matchday ticket or say code EATMOREBEER to receive $2 off happy hour pricing. So they were able to accomplish that here today. And they're also able to get some stops on the other end. Let's take a look at our Bravo 1 protection save of the game.
Yeah, this one we didn't see at first because of the traffic in the box, but Paul Christensen, it was a good ball in from the free kick, flicked on, and Christensen had to be quick with that left hand to palm it away.
Some good awareness from Paul Christensen, and we'll now take a look at all of the other great clips from this game brought to you by GSP Airport. Both sides couldn't get things going early. We're lacking that clinical touch, but Jacob Labovitz early in this game was definitely active.
Labovitz had 3 half chances in that first half. That was one there with the side of the foot. This was assist from distance that, again, I thought it got in, but snuck past the post off Christensen. Again, Charlotte didn't really threaten too often. Christensen's first 2 saves were very simple. That was the first of them.
Sort of kneeling down and falling on top of the ball.
Probably Labovitz's best chance. He would leave at the half. His first touch just took him a little away from goal. Couldn't keep it on target.
Now we got Don Smart, who ended up getting on the goal sheet later in the game. Keegan with the efforted attempt to keep things interesting there for certain.
Here's the opening goal again. A lovely touch by Abar. I don't think he even looked up, just put it into the mixer, and Evans got on the end of it. Too much power for Abrams.
Evans, sometimes you just need to put a little punch towards goal. Keeper wasn't ready for it. Even though Abrams was able to get both of his hands on it, Maloney could not stop the thudded power of that header from Venton Evans. And he would have a couple other chances in this game, Venton Evans.
Yeah, second straight game that a substitute has scored what would turn out to be the winning goal, and this would be the second goal as Alan Gavilanes got around Omar Sis, and Sis just clumsily into the back of the Greenville winner, and Don Smart, calm as ever with the finish on the penalty.
And now here is your Hopkins I Center standings. 7th place is where they started today. Now all the way up at the top of the table with 14 points and a 1-0 goal differential after putting 2 past the Charlotte Independents here today.
Yep, North Carolina FC again play Wednesday. They could jump into first place themselves and on a hot streak of late. But Greenville will enjoy their first few days at the top this season.
Got to keep a track of how many teams hit first place in these next few weeks with how congested everything is. But with that in mind, that is the end of our show here today. Your final score, Greenville 2, Charlotte Independents 0. Got a couple of other games on right now that you could tune into if you're so privy to it. But for our broadcasting crew, Ross Davenport, my name is Mark Schoenster saying thank you for watching, so long, and see you next time on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.